Gentleman is recognized.
Well, Mr. Speaker, I'm now really honored to yield to the distinguished gentleman, the former chairman of the Full House Agriculture Committee, who continues to this day to be an incredible advocate for agriculture and a mentor of mine as I've worked my way into this leadership role. The gentleman from Oklahoma, Congressman Lucas, please recognize for 3 minutes.
Gentleman is recognized.
Mr. Speaker, I rise in opposition to H.R. 7606 because American farmers and ranchers deserve real assistance, real relief, real policy solutions. To understand my opposition, you must understand the part of the country that I represent and was raised in. The 3rd District of Oklahoma was the epicenter of the drought, the Dust Bowl, the economic depression of the 1930s. This was a time when horrible weather conditions collided with misguided federal ag and misguided federal monetary policy to create an environment that profoundly changed the region that my family has called home for over 120 years. I was raised on those stories, and it was their experiences that shaped my view on what the role of the federal government should be. The federal government should be passing and enacting policies that help people and businesses, not hinder them. Unfortunately, the Biden administration and House Democrats seem to not hold that same view. During the past 5 years, American farmers and ranchers have weathered volatile world markets, devastating natural disasters, prolonged droughts, supply chain disruptions, ever-increasing input costs, and soaring inflation. Yet the only thing the Biden administration and House Democrats seem interested in doing is increasing regulatory burdens, limiting access to fuel, and passing spending packages that fuel inflation. Mr. Speaker, if House Democrats were truly interested in providing relief for American farmers and ranchers, they would join my Republican colleagues and I in calling for the Biden administration to reinstate the Trump-era Waters of the United States rule and rescind the Biden administration's WOTUS rule. If Democrats were interested in reducing the cost of farm inputs like fertilizer and fuel, they would work with us to restore and expand domestic energy production. They would join us in calling for the Biden administration to rescind the SEC's proposed rule on climate-related disclosure. This rule is not only a ploy to divert capital away from traditional energy investments, it also requires farmers, regardless of size, to track and report environmental data to public companies with which they work. Finally, House Democrats are touting this bill as a solution to the issue of consolidation in the meatpacking industry. As we all know, DOJ, yes, the Department of Justice, is in the middle of an ongoing investigation into the meatpacking industry, an investigation that was launched under the Trump administration. I feel strongly that if there is collusion, manipulation, or other wrongdoing by packers, then the existing law should be enforced under the existing authorities of USDA and DOJ. Those are civil and criminal penalties if violations are found. Changing those authorities or laws in the middle of an ongoing investigation only helps to confuse and complicate the eventual DOJ findings. Mr. Speaker, I urge my colleagues to oppose this messaging bill and join with me in calling for real solutions for American farmers and ranchers. I yield back the balance of my time.